Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of International Education Talk, iEduTalk, study across globe. My name is Vincent Abuka, and I have here with me Mr. Arnold from Technological University of Dublin. He's a regional recruitment officer. Mr. Arnold, you are welcome to this
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you so much. So today we are going to be talking about schools in Ireland. So basically, Technological University of Dublin (TUD). So can you tell us a bit about the school?
Technological University Dublin is one of the biggest university in Ireland. We are now the second biggest university, and we have over 200 different courses, programs available to international students, starting from the foundation program to undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhDs. We have about 28,000 students, and we have about 3,500 students that are non-Irish. So you will see my university is very multicultural and very welcoming.
Oh, that's interesting. So can we talk about your intake? So how many intake do you have?
We have a main intake. The main intake is in September. That's a traditional for the Irish University to have an intake in September. And we have also a small one for some of our masters and for our foundation program in January. But it will be a very small intake that we have. Most of my students are coming in September.
Do you mind discussing your admission requirements?
My admission requirement, it really depends on what program you come to study. But the first good thing is for Nigerian nationals, you don't need an English speaking test. You don't need to do an English proficiency test because we know that you speak English in Nigeria.
Yes.
Then you will need academic requirements. So every program will have different requirements. We will need, if you come to do a foundation program with us, that you have a WAEC.
Yes.
If you come to do an undergraduate program, you will need to have the A level of an international baccalaureate. If you come to do a master with us, you will need to have a bachelor degree. And if you come to do a PhD, you need to have a good research proposition to offer us.
Exactly. There's these things of people saying HND, so a lot of discrimination. Is this applicable to your school? So can HND come for direct masters?
No, they cannot. The HND, it's like we have an HND in Ireland. And it's called the bachelor, and it used to be called the national diploma. And we cannot apply for a master with.
So people with HND, is there any program available for them?
We have a lot of top-ups. In a lot of our degree programs, they will come for our top-ups, or some people call them add-ons. And they come, they do a top-up. And if they're successful in their top-up, it's just 1 year program, they can come, then they can apply to do a master in my university.
Okay, so let's talk about your tuition fee for postgraduate. Tuition fee and then the possible deposits that students must make.
Absolutely, yes. So every program have a different cost, obviously. But for the vast majority of my program, the costs are between 13,500 euros to 14,500 euros.
Can you repeat that, please?
Yes, certainly. 13,500 euros to 14,500 euros for the majority of the masters that we are offering. And the requirement when you make an application to my university to secure your place on the program, you pay 50% of the tuition fees. Now, the good thing about my university, you don't need to pay the balance until the end of the first semester. So you are already in Ireland studying, working, making friends, and then you don't have to pay until the start of the second semester. So between the end of the first semester and the start of the second semester, but then we will require the balance in full at this stage.
Oh, wow, that's a very good one for TUD. How about the undergraduate programs?
That is exactly the same, and the price range is exactly the same too. So it's an average of 14,000 euros. You pay 50% to secure your place on the program, And again, the balance is not due until the end of the first semester.
Oh, wow, that's very okay. So, are there specific age requirement for your postgraduate studies?
None whatsoever.
Oh,
The
wow.
only thing that I have to, I had a student that was 48 that came from South Africa. Okay, so just to mention, there is no age requirement. However, you need to think when you applied for a visa, you need to explain why you're coming at this age to study, and they will need your full history from school to date, till your age, whatever age. And they want to understand why you want to come to study abroad. What is your purpose of studying abroad? But I really saw it, for example, a few examples that I can give you. An engineer working here in Nigeria. He owns a company. Been working in engineers for many years, 20 years, and he feels that he needs to learn a little bit more about management.
Oh,
He could come to my university to do a master in management with his engineer background, and he can explain to the visa office, because of my day-to-day work, I need to learn more about management, and I already have degrees, so I decided to do a master. And that will be a very good reason to come to Ireland.
oh. It's okay. That's very good one. Can we talk about opportunities that's in the island,
Okay, a few things.
especially Dublin? Let's
Okay.
talk about opportunities.
Okay, a few things that I want to mention. First of all, students have the right to work and study at the same time.
Wow.
Okay, and it's 20 hours per week during term time.
Okay.
On holidays, it's 40 hours per week. And there is no limit on the maximum money that they can earn.
Wow.
And in Ireland, we have a minimum wage of 14 euro and 20 cents. That's a minimum wage. We are talking of in naira, about 900 naira per hour, minimum wage. Like, I'm talking about people working in the wash shop, in a restaurant. If you work in a supermarket, if you work in a call center, if you work as a security guard, if you work in a data center, you will make more money. Furthermore, after a bachelor's degree in Ireland, you get a 1 year working visa. After 2 years, after a master's degree, you get a 2 years working visa. And you can work in any area that you wish to. Bear in mind that right now, Ireland, the cost of living, which is true, it's a bit high. However, the salaries are very, very high. The average salary in Ireland on today's date is 50,000 euros per year. That's the average salary. And there is barely any unemployment. It is very, very easy for you to get a job in Ireland.
Oh. Wow. That's a very, very good one.
No, yeah,
I think,
good, very good salaries
Ireland
and
is
full
a-
of jobs.
Ireland is a very good destination to consider for studies.
Well, Ireland is a very good destination for many reasons, but one of the main reason are we have a very, very good education in Ireland, and companies love to set their business in Ireland for many reasons. Like I said, we speak English. We are the only English-speaking country of all the EU. Like with Brexit, the UK is gone. We deal all our business in euro, like within the eurozone. Our education, like I mentioned, is very, very good. And also there is barely any corporation tax. So you will see all the big companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft, Sanofi Pasteur, Pfizer, that are coming to set their company in Ireland and employ tens of thousands of people. It's very easy to get a job in Ireland, especially if you're qualified in a very good education.
How employable are the graduates of TUT?
Actually, we just run an advertisement recently on the national newspapers and on national radio, and social media too in Ireland. We are the number one university question of employability in Dublin. 90% of my students have a job or are going into further education within 6 months of leaving my university. So that we are the biggest university, we are the top university in Dublin question of employability. One of the reasons certainly is that if you come to study in my university, everything is brand new. It's brand new equipment, brand new technology, everything is always up to date. And we also have, our classes are very small, so there is a lot of interaction with our professors. We want them to learn, to be able to be ready to start straight away into the marketplace. And another areas that I'm very proud of, we are going to the industry, ask them, what will you need in the next 5 years? A good example is artificial intelligence. We started to have our bachelor degree in artificial intelligence over 10 years ago, when nobody was talking about it, because the industry told us that they would need some people within the next 4 years to be able to work in artificial intelligence. So we are connected to the industry, and we make sure that all our courses are up to date, and we have students that are really ready to go to the workplace.
So, what are your strongest programs you have in the TUD?
It's complicated, and if I start to mention very strong programs, there will be some jealousy within law school. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to mention programs that are very good from different faculties that I have in my university. Well, first of all, take it this way, to mention the faculties of computing and engineering. 40% of all the graduates in Ireland are coming through my universities in computing and engineering due to the quality of our programs. That is something that is quite good, just to show you the level of our courses within Ireland. 40% of all engineers and all graduating engineering and graduating computing are coming through my universities. Now, I don't want to forget obviously other faculties. And I'm going to mention a couple of things. For example, we're called Technological University of Dublin. We have programs in drama, in music, in filming, in singing, and some of our graduates managed to do international careers. I have some of my students that were in Game of Thrones, some of my students that were in Star Wars, some of my students that were in Peaky Blinders. Not just to mention that it's not just Technological University. So those courses are also fantastic. Or a business graduate school also producing many students that are becoming CEO of big companies. Like Qantas Airways, for example, from Australia. The CEO is a graduate from a university, from the School of Business. So that's just most of our programs are very good, but something that is very important in our program in TU Dublin is that they are both recognized internationally, but they are also recognized by the local bodies in universities in Ireland. So if you come to study marketing, it's recognized by the Institute of Marketing in Ireland. If you come to study law, it will be, our courses will be recognized by the Law Society of Ireland. If you do engineering, it will be recognized by the Engineering Society of Ireland. All our courses are fully recognized. And sometimes people forget, if you study in science, for example, in my university, biomedical science, that's the only one that is recognized within the HEA, the health services in Ireland, to start working in a lab technician in any hospitals.
Wow, that's a good one. So the very last questions I would like to ask, so many people who are considering a new country, a new study destination like this, so they want to know the long-term career opportunities. And this boils down to this. How many years do they need to stay in the island after maybe their postgraduate or permit? How many years do they need to stay to be qualified or eligible for permanent resident or indefinite?
Okay, the answer is quite simple. It's 4 years.
Okay.
You need to work 4 years to be able to apply for residency.
Okay, you need to work 4 years.
4 years
So
for
these
residency.
4 years, does the work they will be doing during the studies count to that 4 years, or at what point do you start
No,
counting?
once you graduate,
Okay.
I mentioned that you get 2 years working visa from then.
Okay, that's the post studies.
That's the post-study visa that you automatically get, that you
Okay.
start from then to what you for
2 years.
Yes.
Okay.
So it will be included into the 4 years.
Okay.
Now, what I'm telling my student coming from abroad is to be smart
Okay.
about the choice of job that they are going to do. If they work for one of the big employers, after they get 2 years working visa after graduate, but your employers can sponsor you if you're good at your job for an extra 2 years. Then you'll be in Ireland for 4 years, and you can apply for residency at this stage. So there is a pathway towards residency, and after residency, there is a pathway to become Irish. And so I think it's 8 years being a resident in Ireland, you can become Irish. But be smart in what job you're going to get. If you decide just to work because you make a lot of money as tips as a waiter in a restaurant, your employer cannot really sponsor you to stay another 2 years because it's easy to find a waiter in a restaurant. But if you work in the pharmaceutical industry, the banking industry, the computing industry, the food and technology industries, it will be quite easy for your employer to sponsor you up to the point that you can apply for residency in Ireland.
But that's good. So it's nice having this section with you. That
you
brought
very
us to the end of this section. So thank you so much for listening to our podcast. This is the end of this section for today. Opportunity to study in the island. Like we have heard from Arnold, Regional Recruitment Officer from Technological University of Dublin. So there are a whole lot of opportunity studying in Ireland. If you are the type that you are qualified for studying in the island, please kindly reach out to us and then we process your admission. Though I did not ask you about your turnout time, your admission turnout time. Someone applied today, how long does it take the person to get offer?
Before I give you an answer, I'm going to say that I've been working study across globe for over 10 years. So we have a long-term relationship. It's always a pleasure for me to come back to your offices in whatever in Lagos or Abuja or Ibadan.
Yes.
And we have a long working relationship because there is a lot of trust between us. And they know, like, you know what program I offer, and I know how good you are finding the right university for some students. Now you asked me a question. The offer usually within 2 weeks.
Isn't that much?
No.
Okay.
Because a lot of programs have to be checked by the course coordinator. We received the application. The admission office makes sure that all the documents are there. Once all the documents are there, we send it to the course coordinator that will check it. So you will get it within 2 weeks.
It's okay. That's fine. So you put in application today, in 2 weeks' time, you get your offer. If everything is checked and if we need to get back to you for additional documents, you will be communicated as well. And don't forget, we have the major intake September 2026 and the basic intake for January 2026, which is already which have already come to an end somehow. So if you are looking at studying in Ireland, you can start sending in your document ahead of 2026 admission. Thank you for staying tuned. Have a lovely day.